welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs and Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs and the stories of some amazing people, one digital footprint at a time. With me this morning, Annette, Anaya. How you doing, Annette?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I like that collar on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look terrific.
Thank you very
You a
much.
little bit nervous and stuff?
Absolutely.
See, now you're not nervous any longer. You have an incredible story. And you are also an entrepreneur, but you're also, dare I say, a survivor. Why not describe it that way? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
My journey, the end result is peaceful. I was incarcerated, and my focus now is to take that journey to the next level and help offenders be employed.
What is the biggest stigma coming out from a correctional facility, coming out from that environment? What is the biggest stigma that you find? People look at you differently? Do you go boo and people get scared?
I think the biggest stigma is that people's perception perhaps is that inmates, felons are suspended in growth. There's not a growth process that happens. And that's far from the truth. And I think that a lot of people make mistakes and deserve that opportunity to get back on their feet and be valid and productive members of society.
Are you unique though? I mean, I guess the question is, you're an incredible individual, and you have been able to overcome amazing and seemingly impossible odds, but you have. Can we amplify that and generalize that and say that perhaps other offenders that are coming into society, and at some point they will come in, right?
Absolutely.
At some point they're going to join us. And do you feel that you can generalize that and expand to not only apply to yourself, but there are other people such as you who are in the same position that are also victorious in joining our society? And again, thank you to the wonderful work that I know Clark DeSoy nominated you to be here, and his plan, his program that they've put together is just second to none. So, is it just you, or are there other people out there that feel and are victorious as you?
I think there's definitely other people out there that deserve that victory, absolutely. But it's multidimensional. I believe that we have to get the community educated in awareness. Don't be afraid of a felon. Don't be afraid of hiring an offender. Know the reasons why you should, why you shouldn't, when to do it, the do's and the don'ts. If you think about the fact that we are affected, all of us are affected by small businesses. And if we can just take that initiative and that platform and educate small business communities on hiring offenders.
You're taking this on a mission, which in and of itself, it's an entrepreneurship endeavor, right?
It is. It is. It is indeed.
Where do you want to see this venture go to? Because it's something to talk about your experience locally, but I think that the benefit might lie in the sense that you can extrapolate this and take it nationwide and give your voice to a lot of people out there that may be tone deaf to the opportunities that are out there for individuals that have gone through the correctional system and then victoriously have come out and join our society.
I'd like to start by hitting the masses, which I'm referring to the masses of the high school population. If you break the law and you are sentenced to prison, these are the possibilities that can happen. It was very surreal for me to be incarcerated. It was, everything was a precarious and clumsy language that I found myself surrounded with. But by that same token, I lost my mother during that process, you know, and to lose my mother and not be available to attend her funeral was there's a huge disconnect with that. And I think it needs to go to that high school level and educate students that not only are you going to lose the liberties of being able to drink that Coke whenever you want it, or get that, you know, glass of cold water whenever you want it. It goes further than that. It goes deeper than that. You could lose loved ones, and you may not be there. You may not be there to be a part of that process, and I think that that's huge. So I'd like to, you know, educate high school students. I'd like to. I'm in the infant stages of creating a documentary of chronicling, you know, 3 to 4 inmates as they are released, and, you know, just going through their journey.
I know a great videographer, by the way.
I just met one also. But I'd like to be able to, you know, more importantly, not only do we want to educate the population within the prison system, we also need to, you know, how else can we touch society when, if you're not directly affected by someone who is in the prison system, how do you get them to care? How do you get people to care when we live in a culture of scarcity, or you know, in a sum zero game when funds are low? How do we get people to care? And I think that the only way to do that is to go out there and educate and bring awareness.
It's education, and it's also economics, right?
Correct.
Because if you have this particular population coming out, joining the ranks of the employed, or even becoming themselves entrepreneurs, correct?
That's correct.
Then, and if that affects positively companies' bottom line, there's your solution. I mean, money really, in our capitalistic system, money really moves mountains. I mean, it's a terrible statement, but the bottom line, that's what it is. And having this population joining into society and being part of the economic engine, then it's an all-win.
That is correct. You know, when I was at the facility, at the complex here, I was an educator in there, and it was an eye-opening process for me. And a lot of the women there, quite frankly, have what they call retention jobs. I mean, you think about those ladies that have been there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, that have been working these retention jobs. They're going to leave prison with $10,000, $15,000, $30,000. And invariably, the conversations always kind of went along the ways of, well, when I get out, you know, I'm going to buy that brand new car, I'm going to buy my kids everything they ever wanted. I would always come back and say, well, why not take that money and create your own opportunity? Because quite frankly, it is going to be hard for you to be employed. So I co-authored a prison-based entrepreneur program.
Inside the prison system, you became an author.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole focus was to
What kept you going? What kept you going through this process? You have to have an incredible mental stability and power and determination, and be able to compartmentalize a million things, your family, all the things that you love, to put them aside, put them in a compartment, and focus on day to day to day to day, minute by minute by minute. What kept you going?
In all actuality, you know, my son, I've got one child, he's a man now, and you know, he's my spine. He would just reiterate to me, you know, to stay focused. And I also have to give credit to the folks that I worked with at Arizona Correctional Industries, because they gave me the most valuable gift I could have ever wanted, far more than any retention job monetarily could have given me. They validated me, and they allowed me to come to the table and be a collaborative agent in a due process of collaborating ideas and thoughts, and putting those thoughts and ideas into place. So I'm going to say that in combination of, my son being my spine and encouraging me and being positive and making sure I was going to get through this, and with the help of, the ACI folks and validating me. And ultimately, I'm going to say that, my mom's passing brought about strange opportunities. She brought peace to me. She knew how I was conflicted. She knew of that. And I feel peaceful.
You're an extraordinary woman. And what is the one message you would want to tell entrepreneurs that are watching this program, business owners that are watching this program? They may not be aware of the opportunity that you had through the programs now available through Clark's programs through the correctional systems. What would you tell those entrepreneurs? What's the message?
I think the message is that if you are directly connected to anyone that's been incarcerated, then you might give that person an opportunity to be employed. But if not, listen to the initiatives, the platforms. I have met with the governor's office. Listen to the initiatives that we have in place and allow us to speak to you in the community, and listen to every opportunity in positive ways that we can help offenders be productive members of society.
You have a beautiful smile when you smile at the beginning of the show, so take us out with a smile.
Thank you.
With that, we're out.